Hello guys, today I'll be reviewing A Different Kind of Truth by Van Halen, the final album. And this is, of course, when David Lee Roth came back, and I have the 2-disc version. But yeah, this album, I'll be honest, it was kind of a blast to return to this album because it's been a while since I've returned to a good number of tracks off this album, so there are some songs on here that were pretty cool to revisit. But anyways, let's go ahead and dive into the album. The album starts off with Tattoo, which was the first single, and the song kind of has a fun vibe to it. Now, when it came out, some people didn't like it, and some people did like it. Some people might have had a problem with some of David Lee Roth's vocals in the song, or maybe it's the lyrics, but for me, I like it. I'd say I like it more now compared to when I was getting into Van Halen at the time. But yeah, I'd say I like this song more now. I don't know if it's one of my favorites on the album, but I do like it though. A decent choice for a single. But then we get to the next song, She's the Woman, which was either a reworked version or originated from a demo that was from the 70s. One of their demos from the 70s, and of the singles, this one might be my favorite. But yeah, I think it's a pretty solid song. It has a nice energy to it, and I think the chorus is pretty catchy. And then you get to the song You and Your Blues, which to me musically sounds very much like Van Halen. It's very Van Halen, I guess you could say. Kind of has a classic Van Halen vibe to it, if you know what I mean. Kind of checks off all the boxes that makes it Van Halen, I guess you could say, is what I'm trying to get my point across with this song. But all around, I think it's a pretty good song. Not much to say, but I do like it though. Sometimes it's one of my favorites, sometimes it isn't. But overall, I think it's a solid song. But then we get to Chinatown, which is maybe my favorite on the album. I really dig this one. I just like the fun aspect and upbeat aspect of the song, and I really dig the chorus. For a while, I didn't really think much of the song, but I'd say I like it more now. But then we get to Blood and Fire, and I believe this song dates back to 1984 to this instrumental called Ripley. And I hope I'm thinking of the right song, but Blood and Fire, I think it's a pretty solid song. Not one of my personal favorites, but I do like it. But then we get to Bullethead, which is a shorter, faster, upbeat, pretty heavy song, and I really dig this one. This was a song that I really enjoyed hearing again and revisiting it, because it's been a long time since I've returned to this song, and I'd say I really enjoyed it. I really dig this one. And then we get to As Is, which has maybe some of the best rhythm work on the album for me personally. I think the rhythm work really pulls you into the song, and I think the chorus is pretty catchy and memorable. Maybe one of my favorite choruses on the album. But then we get to Honey Baby Sweetie Doll, which for me with this song, I think Eddie Van Halen really takes the spotlight. I think the guitar work in the song really shines, and especially even during the verses, and I think it's a pretty good song. It's not one of my personal favorites, but I do really like the guitar work again in this song. But then you get to The Trouble with Never, which has never been one of my personal favorites, but it's a decent song. But then we get to Outer Space, which I believe was one of the demo songs, or a reworked version of a demo, or however you want to put it. And this song, I think, is just okay. I do like it, but it's never, again, been one of my personal favorites, just like the previous song on the album. But then we get to Stay Frosty, which kind of feels reminiscent of something you'd hear from like Ice Cream Man, a song like that one. And David Lee Roth plays the acoustic intro in this song, and this has always been one of my personal favorites on the album. Kind of unique, kind of different. I'd say unique and different enough to stand on its own, and I really dig this one. It has some nice energy to it. It has a nice progression. I like how it's more focused on the acoustics. Then as the song goes on, it eventually gets a little bit heavier with the guitar, and yeah, again, one of my personal favorites. Then we get to Big River, which I believe is a reworked version of a demo from like the mid or late 70s that they did. That demo being called Big Trouble, if I got the song title right, and I've always really dug this song. Kind of underrated, not a song that I hear many people talk about. I mean, maybe it's not a song that'd like blow you away by any means, but I've always really dug this one. I think it's maybe one of the catchiest songs on the album. I really dig this one. But then we get to Beats Workin', which is of course the album closer, and I believe this song was also a demo too. It was one of the demos that Gene Simmons contributed to, or it was off of one of his demos. I can't remember, but Beats Workin', I do really like this one. This was another song on the album for me that I really enjoyed revisiting again, because throughout the album you can tell they had a blast or had fun creating this album, and this song definitely shows that, and I really like this one. Not a bad choice for an album closer too. But if I had to rate this album, I'd have to give it probably maybe an 8 or an 8.5 out of 10. Overall, I think it's a pretty strong album. It was definitely cool to revisit some of the songs because, to be honest, this is an album that I return to very much. But again, it was really cool to revisit some of the songs on this album, especially songs like Beats Workin' and Bold Head and Honey Baby Sweetie Doll. But yeah, overall, pretty solid album. Let me know your thoughts on the album. Do you love it? Do you hate it? How does it compare to the other albums and all that good stuff? But anyways, thanks for watching. Leave a comment, like, subscribe. Have a nice day, and take care.